What's up, Tube? Welcome back to Laguito's Chop Shop, the second best Gel Blaster channel on the tubes. Kinda wish that hole wasn't there. Make it look ugly. Maybe you guys know what's in here. It is hashtag Scar1000. I am super excited about this. I don't know what it is. I'm a Scar guy. What can I say? I've been running the Jinming Scar with the Gen 8 gearbox for however many, since it was brand new, since it was the latest thing on the market, and that's what I've been running to my games for the last 2 years or more. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long time. And one of the things that was really garbage about it was the plastic ABS shell and the self-tapping screws. And there seem to have been a million new release blasters since then, but no new Scars. Well, now here it is. Finally, a new Scar. Let's get it out of this box. My lord, does this thing look good? Wow. It's the best looking blaster I have ever seen, I think. I might be a little bit biased towards the Scar, but it is a really, really good looking blaster. It comes with these iron sights as well, which I will pop on. This is such a nice quality blaster. All the way from the back to the front, everything just looks really nice. It's got the pop-up iron sights, which look and feel really nice. Got the bolt release there, which operates. Ambidextrous mag release, so you can release mag from left hand or right hand side. Ambidextrous fire select, so you can do that, select auto or semi from both sides of the blaster. The ejection port opens up. It's to this point, it's probably the nicest looking and feeling blaster that I have ever come across. How does it fire? Let's find out. Okay, well, first of all, I got to find a battery for it. Doesn't have a battery, but battery will go in here. Comes off, and the cable is there, which is a mini Tamiya connector. I'll have to find a battery that's got a mini Tamiya connector. Oh man, this is unfortunate. I have to fix this before I even get started. Alright, let us begin the teardown. Ambi-mag, that's kind of cool for lefties. The folding stock folds. There is actually these nice little spring contacts in the back of the folding stock that connect the battery things up. That's pretty cool, but it does also mean that you can't fire it with the stock folded, which I guess is kind of, I don't know, I've never seen anyone firing a Scar with stock folded anyway. On this side, speaking of the folding stock, one of the things that I have noticed is on opening my folding stock, or even just using the thing in general, this pin just chills there. It's not tapered, it's not doing anything. It does seem to have this, let me see if I can see here. It does seem to have these little threaded holes here for grub screws that would, I guess, retain that pin. If you had grub screws in there, if you were provided with grub screws. But I wasn't, at least I haven't found any in the pack so far. So it actually appears like this rear moulding and sling hook and everything that holds the stock on, it appears to mould around the receiver. So I'll have to remove that in order to get the thing apart. Do that. Someone actually told me that the barrel actually just comes out without tools. You can basically twist the gas block and the barrel will come out. I tried, I couldn't do it, but we'll get to that shortly. I want to love you, Scar. Why won't you let me love you? So I've been told that if you twist this gas block around, it releases the barrel, and it works. I tried to do that the other night and it didn't work. Well, I couldn't get it. Maybe it was just tight. There's the alloy barrel in there. There's, interestingly, does this screw? Yeah, it does. Alright. Interestingly enough, there is a hop-up inside here. If I could get this off. There it is. There it is. So it does come standard with a war interest hop-up. Looks like a pretty standard-ish alloy barrel. This is a really nice flash hider. How is it? How does the flash hider hold the? The hop-up just sits in there. Moving on. I'm going to measure this barrel. Alright. 7.53 ID barrel. Now, let's have a look at how we get the rest of this receiver apart. So there's a pin here, which punch out. It is retained in the lower, so that's kind of cool. You won't lose the pin. Now the next bit I'm not really sure of. I've got a feeling I might have to remove this slide, this cocking handle to actually get the back off. Alright, I'm not sure that there's an easier way of doing this or not, but once I've popped this pin here, you can push down the bolt release, slide this back, and when you slide it back, get to the point where the bolt release is hooked back behind the back of the housing, and then I can actually release this spring, and hopefully the whole thing will be able to come out. Alright, maybe if I take this charging handle off. It's pretty cool that you can actually take this handle off and fit it either to the left side or the right side. If you're left or right handed. Now, is this going to come out now? Oh, it does. I'm sure someone in the comments is probably going to tell me there's an easier way of doing this. I'm all ears. All ears. Trying to work on this thing with this hanging off the back is a massive pain. And this is a heavy lump of metal as well, so like it's heavy and annoying. So I think I just want to see if there's a way I can get this off. It's got to come out right. Ah. Alright, that's a bit less of a lump to be hanging off the back, which is nicer. Okay, pop the motor out now, see what's inside there. Worth noting, like, this is really nice, solid stuff. Nylon, metal. Mag, also nice and solid. Anyway, number 2 Phillips. Good old number 2 Phillips. It's quite hard to undo those screws. They're quite solid. Don't know what they're actually screwing into, whether there's inserts or whether it's straight into the nylon, but they are quite a solid thing to undo. Alright, that's one. And still got the other one. And that's 2. That out, that is a metal plate. And there is the motor, and it does appear that there is metal inserts. I don't know if you can see that. There is metal inserts in here to screw the screws into, so it's not just cross-threading the nylon, which is good. I like that. Pull the motor terminals off, pull the motor out. What? Let me love you, Scar. Let me love you. I want to love you. Why is the gear nylon? That doesn't make sense to me. Alright, we'll continue. Alright, on with the teardown. I was told in the Discord last night when I was told about the quick release barrel that I couldn't get to work. I was told, don't be surprised if you find a nylon pinion gear. And I thought it was a typo. I thought he actually might have said, might have meant don't be surprised if you find a nylon plunger, because I know it's pretty standard to have a metal gear set and then have a nylon ladder gear on the plunger. But I was not expecting a nylon gear set in this gearbox. Alright. Suppose we start punching the pins out. And my light just blew, so we're going to be doing this overexposed. Alright, let's pop this out. Get this pin out of here. Right, now, this mag release looks like it's got a tiny pin through there. I'll have to get a tiny punch to get that off. And this one, actually, this fire selector looks like it's got maybe a 1.5mm Allen head screw holding that on, so I should be able to get that one out without too much of an issue. Don't lose your detent, which is chilling in there, and the other bit. Gotta work on this mag release. There's some other pins here, which I don't know if they're real or faux pins or just there to look good, or I'm not quite sure what they are. Working on getting this mag release off. Looks like a tiny pin. Maybe got to punch it up through there. Alright. Let's get my poker. There you go. Tiny little pin. I might be able to just pull it out with some tiny pliers. Spring loader as well, so it's probably worth holding on to. Alright. That is a nice little metal button. Conical spring. And of course the ambi catch on the other side. Cool. Alright, what else we got here? Okay, after a bit of messing around, I've worked out that the fire selector, once you've removed the fire selector on the other side, you can twist the fire selector on this side around, and that allows you to release the gearbox from its nylon prison. It's worth probably remembering the location of the selector when you do take it out, because that will obviously, when you put it back in, you'll have to make sure that it's in the right spot. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. It's definitely worth noting that this, and this are all fake pins. So you can see they don't actually go anywhere. They're just little things that are glued in to give the appearance of having pins. don't punch them out like I did. And of course, in order to get into the box, we need to get this amber gear out. It travels through the box to the other side, which is your fire selector. And now it looks like a War Interest V2 box. It's their most current V2 version box, I believe. Looks like it, because the reason I can tell is it's got this spring release. And it's got a pretty decent feeling spring in it. Not too bad. Let's open her up. Alright, got all the screws out now, pretty sure. Always one that you didn't see. Let's open it up, see what we got. I gotta pull these mag terminals out too, because mag terminals are cast into the top half of the box. The bottom half has to stay put. Don't know why they didn't just cast that bit into the other side of the box. Okay, here we go. Well, is this the internals that I expected for the price of this blaster? No, honestly. I thought that they would have at least put metal gears inside there. I mean, I'd heard several people telling me that they had nylon gearboxes. And a couple of people had said a few things about nylon, but I thought they meant nylon actual, like the gearbox was nylon. I didn't realise gears were also nylon. But yeah, that's odd. Yep, nylon, 100% nylon. Let's take this cylinder out. Got the classic War Interest cylinder with that. Oh wow! No, that was just me. Yeah, classic War Interest. Let's see what sort of seal it's got. Very sloppy. Let me check without the nozzle. Just quickly. Still very sloppy. Well, I'm gonna just whack an O-ring in this one straight away. Yeah, I'll whack an O-ring in, because I do want to actually sort of play with this at some stage. I will just chuck a brown O-ring in there. See how we go, just straight off the bat. Oh man, that's a phenomenal improvement. Just from putting that O-ring in. I do kind of like that they've got this thing here which is designed for like connecting up blowback. I was thinking that I could connect this up to the bit that runs the cocking handle to get a blowback reciprocating cocking handle like the actual Scar has, but looking at the size of the actual piece that the cocking handle attaches to, it's huge. It is like, it really is huge. It's half the size of the, look at it, it's huge and it's heavy. And it's a lot heavier than I thought originally, so I don't think I'll proceed with that, but it does have the facilities to install a blowback type arrangement on there. Let's try this nozzle. Yeah, that's a acceptable air seal now. The original one was a bit weak, but now that's acceptable. I'm not going to change the gears out in this because I'll be honest, I had always intended on putting a CNC V2 gearbox into this because I figured, you know, if you're going to go Scar 1000, hashtag Scar 1000, you might as well be putting a CNC gearbox into it. So yeah, that was always my plan. I always knew that this wasn't going to be the gearbox that was going to live in there forever, but I kind of also expected it to be more than this. I mean, if it means anything to anyone, these are these nylon gears. I've had them running reliably for long periods of time on standard box blasters pushing 300 FPS or whatever. So I mean, they do work. I just kind of guess I expected more. Anyway, now that I've got this thing to a point where I can actually use it, I'm going to whack it back together. We can do some tests. If I can get this tappet spring on. While I am putting all this back together, I just thought I'd mention I think I cut like a couple of loops off this spring and hooked it up a little bit shorter, like I don't know, 3 or 4 loops, just so that that bolt release is a bit more crisp. It was the spring was a little bit soft before, it didn't feel quite right. Alright, now that I finally got this sorted out to the point where I can actually use it, I'll load up the mag. It's got my favourite mags, the ones where you can't open them unless you've got really strong fingernails. I've got a thumbnail. I've got a pretty decent thumbnail at the moment, and I struggle to get that open. I really don't like those type of... Anyway, let's fill her up. Alright, just ordinary milkies. Let's see what she does. Alright, here we go. Now, I'm on 7 volts because I couldn't find a battery that had the connector on it for 11 volts. This is the first time I've ever fired this. Alright, 250, 246, 236, 251, 240, so she's certainly not a powerhouse, but I don't know. Let me see what happens when I take the hop up off. Not that I'm expecting a big gain from this, but stay still. No real difference at all, but I just thought I'd give it a crack. Alright, there it is. Alright, well, there it is. Hashtag Scar 1000. Pretty lackluster performance for something of this price point, given you could go to Tactical Edge and get a metal AK which does 330 FPS out of the box, and it's half the price of this. Having said that, do I love it? Absolutely. Because I'm a Scar guy, and I mean, I'm probably going to throw this gearbox in the bin and put something good in it anyway. But last thing to mention, I bought 2 mags actually. You could there's a screw here that you take out, and once you've taken the screw out, you can pull the mag, and that's the inside of it. Nothing particularly fancy. We've all seen these type of things before. But the interesting thing is that I actually bought the mag from a different store to where I bought the blaster, and I'm not sure, because I didn't think much of it. I didn't like keep them separated or anything. I'm not sure which mag came with the blaster and which mag I bought separately, but this is what I found in the other mag. Everything else externally is the same, but it's got this square plate glued in there. The only reason I can see for that being there is that maybe it's to assist feeding the gels into the tube. Yeah, I just thought that was weird and interesting. Obviously there's something that someone's found out about the mags, and they've made adjustments. I don't know if there's some sort of feeding issue or what, but I can't. Someone mentioned to me that there was some edges that needed cleaning up in here or something, but I don't really. Let's see what's going on here. It might be worth looking into further, doing a bit of research on that, but yeah, I just found that interesting that someone's obviously already had a go at this mag. I mean, well, improved it, I guess. Worth noting. Anyway, that is it from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. And don't forget to buy me a coffee. Buy me lots of coffees to pay this thing off. And you can also message me on Facebook if you're keen on purchasing a patch. That is all for me. I will see you guys later. Thank you. Peace.